Hello, Aries. Welcome to Soul Good. I'm Amber Marie, and this is your March 2023 Tarotscope. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate your attention, your time, your energy, and of course, your company. In the description box, there will be all sorts of goodies for you to check out if you would like to do that. There's also a timestamp so you can jump to the start of the reading. Let's jump in and see what you've got going on for you this month. Please do remember that this is a collective reading, not a personal reading. Only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Let's jump in and see what you've got going on this month. Please, Father, Mother, Life, Universe, Spirits, Guides, Angels, our cosmic team, our ancestors, our higher selves, tell us about Aries' theme for March 2023, please. Okay, thank you. Tell us about a truth for Aries this month. What is a truth Aries needs to know for March? Okay, thank you. Tell us about a lie this month. Okay. And tell us about a lesson or a blessing this month, please. Tell us about a lesson or a blessing. Thank you. Okay, let's get some clarity. Tell us more about Aries' theme for March 2023, please. Tell us more. Okay, thank you. Tell us more, please, about a truth for Aries this month. Oh, okay, thank you. Tell us more about a lie. Thank you. And finally, tell us more, please, about a... Thank you. Okay, so I've noticed that there are two of each of the clarifiers. So you may be seeing repeating twos this month. Twos are about partnerships, balance, duality. They're also about choices. So keep that in mind this month, especially if you're seeing repeating twos. Let's jump in and see what your theme is for this month. So we do have here the dolphin. The dolphin is a very spiritual creature. It is also a water animal, of course, as you probably know. And so I really get this feeling that there is a need for you to reconnect to your spirituality, tune into maybe those more psychic attributes that you might hold. Maybe you don't know about them, maybe you do. And I also feel like with this dolphin energy, there's an element here of flowing, going with the flow. Okay, I just started allowing the current to carry you. So I feel like it almost feels like this need to lighten up or loosen your grip in a sense, to maybe give up a little bit of control. And actually, I'm hearing the words white knuckle. So I feel like maybe you may be resisting some things and are kind of clinging to maybe old ways of being or old paradigms, old behavioral patterns, thought patterns, that sort of thing. So I really feel like there's a need here to allow yourself to flow through some things. Also to tap in again to those more watery type of energies, which are often, being kind of intuitive and in touch with your emotions, also going with the flow. This could also have something to do from a water aspect with relationships, right? You may find yourself focusing more on those this month. I am going to grab the book though, because I just want to take a look at the key terms here and to share those with you. So give me just a second. Let's see, what do we have? It's been a little while since I've used these cards. So, okay, so it says here innate intelligence, healer, light and blessings. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimates own power. Yeah, and here's the thing. So it does say here as well, I'm just going to read this to you now, I suppose. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. Dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on the level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they have in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with the dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. So, yeah, again, like I was saying, getting more in touch with that spiritual side of yourself. And there may be some inclination towards the healing arts, as it were. Maybe it's Reiki, maybe it's crystals, maybe it's herbs, maybe it's tarot, maybe it's channeling, maybe it is simply just working on that self healing and then helping others to do the same. In addition, it could be a connection, like I was saying in the beginning, to source or God or universe, whatever you refer to it as. I call it God, so you will probably hear that term as we carry on, should it show up again. So I do feel like it's about, again, kind of reestablishing that connection, getting in touch with that. But let's take a look at the clarifiers and see. You do have Earth pulsing here, slow down, and time in nature. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. This energy for me, so first of all, if you can see, there's like water here coming down through that ravine, or that valley. And so I really feel, again, it's about flowing. And if you look at the body even lying there, it kind of looks like water. Okay, so again, I really do feel like this is about going with the flow. I also feel like there's a need to slow down, which can, if you allow it, help you to reconnect with that source or God energy, right? It can help you to hear God much more clearly, or to tap into maybe those more spiritual gifts that, again, like I said, maybe you don't even know that you have. But you know, Aries energy is fiery. It's very assertive and fearless, and it's it's very active. And so I feel like there's a need to bring it back a little bit, to kind of, what is the word? Yeah, I'm actually being shown it, like if you were to, you know, be floating in like a pool or a lake or a river or something, and being in like one of those big round tubes and just floating. Um, Around here in my neck of the woods, in some of the um, touristy type of attractions, we have like lazy rivers, and I'm being reminded of that. So I feel like there's this need to like really bring your attention back to yourself, again, back to your body, back to your emotions. I feel like this water energy is pretty heavy, which makes sense as we move through the first part of March, because it is that Piscean energy. Also, for those of you who have birthdays in March, happy birthday. I hope your birthday is full of blessings, joy, and absolute love. But I feel like there's this need to just really slow down and reconnect with yourself. Okay. What else do we have here? OMG, you cannot make this stuff up, because if you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but when I first opened that book to read you that dolphin card, the page we opened up to was the whale. And here you have whale and orca elders, which again, another water card. Share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. So again, I really feel like slowing down is going to allow you to hear yourself, to tune into yourself that much more, tune into that frequency that you're carrying, or that song that you're carrying within you, right? To reconnect with that. Um, there's also something in here in regards to, I feel like that there could be something going on where maybe you've been asking questions like, what am I supposed to do, how am I supposed to move through this? And I really feel like there's this element, because whales are connected with like this more ancient type of energy, to essentially say that you have the wisdom you need within you, so dive deep, right? I feel like you're not going to be able to hear it if you don't slow down. So your theme for this month, I feel, is really slowing down and getting in touch with that God or source energy, and tuning into what is going on within you, within your intuition, within your emotions, within your spirituality. And as well, it could, but I don't feel like this is going to resonate with everyone, could also have a focus on your relationships as well, maybe slowing down in them, maybe really getting in touch with yourself and analyzing, or sifting through and figuring out what it is you truly want, what it is you truly need, in order to feel safe, in order to feel ease or peace, or the ability to relax in relationships, right? So you could be taking a look at your relationships and trying to decide, or trying to figure out who stays, who goes, what it, again, and what it is you need, okay? Or that could be something that you may be guided to do, or something along those lines. So let's take a look at a truth for this month. Wow, we do have the vulture here. And so, you know, here's the thing about the vulture energy, right? It is this energy of like cleaning up the trash or cleaning up the garbage, as it were, getting rid of what is decaying, what is stagnant, what is polluting, if you will, your space, your energy, how you feel. How you're moving, that sort of thing. So I really feel like a truth for you this month is that there are things dying, or there are things that have died over, you know, over the course of maybe the first part of the year or even 2022. That is now, it's like this energy of, okay, now we need to clean this up. We need to let this go. We need to release this. Okay. So I really feel like a truth for you this month is that there are things that need to be allowed to be released and let go of, that need to be allowed to die, because it could, these things that you may be holding on to now, these could be relationships, it could be a job, it could be a living situation, it could be behavioral patterns, thought patterns, woundings, traumas, programming, all sorts of different things that just are no longer serving you. And so, you know, this could be what we're looking at here with slowing down and getting in touch with yourself in order to feel what these things truly are. Okay, let's take a look. What else do we have here? Yeah, like I said, holy crap, the great severing. I mean, you can't get more clear than that, right? Like that's pretty much God saying, I said what I said. There are things that need to be released. Now, these things could create anger or conflict in your experience. It does say here, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. Something very interesting about this, Aries, is if you are unaware, your ruler is Mars. So I feel like this is you showing up for yourself and disconnecting or releasing things again that are not serving you. And I feel like getting rid of some of those things, whether it's wounding, trauma, programming, etc., are going to allow you to soften up a little bit. Maybe, oh yeah, I just heard the word forgiveness. So there may be something there that you know, right? You will know if this is for you, that needs forgiveness. And I just want to share that forgiveness doesn't, it's not for the other party necessarily, right? It's more so for you. You don't even have to forgive to someone's face or be around them or anything of that nature. You can just decide on your own to forgive them. Maybe you pray about it, maybe you ask God to help you to forgive, right? But I just really feel like there are some things here that need to be released that can allow you to open up to love, or allow you to release some of this anger that maybe you have built up within you. But again, it's about releasing things. So that's a truth that may be hard to swallow this month. Oh, wow, this is fascinating. Yeah, so this deeper energy is really coming to the surface. So again, with this vulture as a clarifier, we have star ancestors, hidden secrets, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. So here's the thing, Aries. I feel like in order for you to gain access to, again, like this ancient wisdom that you hold, and knowing, or rather tapping into what it is that you need to do, or that would be best for you to do to better align you with your purpose, with a higher frequency, with a better way of being, is to allow yourself to look deeper. And I feel like once you release some of these things, it's going to allow some of these other things, this wisdom, to come to the forefront. Okay. And you know, here's the thing, you guys, I just want to lovingly say, like, it can be very challenging to look at oneself, to get quiet enough to hear the things. Most people don't like it. They do. Oh, yeah. I don't think you like it. My voice just broke. I feel like that's the truth. I feel like there's a part of you that may be avoiding looking at certain aspects or certain situations or traumas or woundings or things like that, which I feel like you are maybe not even admitting to yourself. And so this may be why this is quite difficult for you to do this month, but it is the truth. And I feel like if you're resonating with this, then you will probably already know exactly what this applies to. So let's take a look at a lie this month. So we do have the camel here, which is really interesting because the camel is this representation of both fire and water energies, right? Having this fuel or this passion, as well as, how do I word this? It's that balance, right? Which is interesting because you got the twos in the beginning of the reading. I feel like I don't, how do I word this? Okay. Okay. For some reason, I feel like there's someone listening, and maybe this will not apply to everyone, but I feel like there's someone listening who has convinced themselves or told themselves that if you just keep pushing through, that all of this water that you're carrying, which I would attribute to your emotions more specifically, like perhaps even negative emotions, and maybe even relationships, okay, that you're carrying. I feel like if you're like, I just keep pushing through, then these things won't weigh me down, like they won't be heavy. And I want to say, like, I feel like that's a lie. Okay, because here's the thing too, there's the moon in this card, and the moon is a representation of illusions. It's a representation of hidden things, which we had this already show up with hidden secrets here. Okay, so part of me wants to say, like, I feel like maybe you feel like you know everything, or you know all the things about something, but you really don't. So that's very fascinating to me. There might be an illusion around something, and it could be, like I was speaking on just moments ago, that maybe you feel like if you just keep pushing through and just keep going, that these things aren't going to affect you. And I want to say, like, I don't feel like this is something that you can just push your way through. And what I've been getting in my membership readings is that we have, it's like we're down to the wire type of thing, where we need to be facing our triggers, facing our fears, and moving through them versus avoiding them. And for some reason, I keep getting this feeling showing up again and again. No matter how I kind of like wander a little bit away from it as things continue to come in, I keep being pulled back to this whole, like, I think I can carry the shit, and you really can't. It's like you can't just keep carrying it. You have to actually face it, actually have to address it. Um, Sink into that Aries energy, be brave, be fearless, and allow yourself to work through these things. But let's see what the clarifiers have to say. The cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. Yeah, okay. So, some of you may disagree with this. Maybe you're not going to resonate with this, but I feel like this energy of God or source is showing up again. I feel like for some of you, maybe you've already tried to establish a relationship or have been working on a relationship with God, building that relationship. And I feel like, so again, we're looking at a lie here, okay? I feel like it's like you could, how do I word this? Yeah, thank you. But did you pray about it? That's what I'm getting. Like, did you pray about it though? Okay, so I feel like, yes, thank you, Lord. I feel like there's this element of you trying to carry the things that you're not meant to carry. Like, I feel like these are things that you should be laying at God's feet. And actually, I'm hearing, you guys forgive me because I am not incredibly well versed in scripture, but I'm getting that. That verse that's something along the lines of, come to me all those who are weary and heavy laden, essentially like lay your burdens at God's feet, allow God to take that weight that you're not meant to be carrying anyways. And I do feel like there's something here about that forgiveness, because you guys, I really feel like it's like, did you pray about it? There are more things that you could be doing in your in this in your spirit or with your spirit that could be beneficial to you. I also feel like for some of you, you may have been questioning or wondering, like, is God even, does God even hear me? And I want to lovingly say, like, yes, God does hear you. And actually, I just felt that tremendously in my heart space. So I do feel like connecting with God could help you open your heart even further. And some of you may be like, oh, well, I do talk to God. Okay, but do you really? Like, again, because I'm getting that, but did you pray about it? Okay. What else do we have here? Okay. Um, this is really interesting. We also have here surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. For some reason, I feel like some of you are pretending like you've got it all together. And maybe that's not to everyone. Maybe there are select few in your circle that you feel safe with, that you have opened up to. But for some reason, I feel like there are others that you're putting on this face to, like you've got it all figured out, like you're just loving life, or maybe that you aren't as burdened as you truly are. Okay, so I also feel like this could be something about, how do I word this? You may not be telling yourself the whole truth about what it is that will bring you joy in your life. Maybe you haven't even acknowledged this. Maybe you haven't addressed it. Maybe you haven't analyzed yourself to be able to figure this out, because I was kind of getting that dive deeper energy. Uh, but I feel like it feels like there's this element of, okay, yeah, thank you. Like I'm putting in the work and I'm doing the things and I'm feeling good, and things are happening, and I feel like you don't wholeheartedly believe that. Okay? So, there may be some, I'm like hearing you guys. I'm hearing you like, like triggered maybe. But it's not easy to face some of the things that we experience, especially if we've been lying to ourselves. And this is something that I wanted to bring forward this month, because we are moving into a new astrological new year. Come, what day is that? The 20th of this month. And so I feel like we're trying to wrap things up. And if you're lying to yourself, then you're going to carry that with you into that new astrological new year. And I do feel like the pressure is on, as it were. So I feel like that could impact you in a way that's not so pleasant later on in the year. If this is in regards to someone else, okay, if this is in regards to someone else, I feel like there could be a falsity around true emotions, the truth of the heart, because when I just looked down here and I was, commenting on this, if this is in regards to someone else, like a lie that's being told to you from the mouth of someone else, here we have this cosmic heart, and I feel like this person may be saying that they're speaking from the heart, but they aren't truly. They could be just speaking from a passionate place. Okay, so if you are someone who may be looking for like true or unconditional love, I would encourage you to maybe just slow down and be sure that that's what's really going on, because we have here also like make love to life, pleasure, and I noticed that, and then pleasure right after it. So again, I feel like there could be someone in your experience who is just pleasure seeking. Okay, I'm just the messenger, so if it's not your story, it's not your story. Let's take a look at a lesson or a blessing for you this month. Okay, so you do have the elk here. I feel like, so what's really interesting about this is like this eclipse looking energy here is really standing out to me. Also, the fact that there's that same kind of fiery energy here on the antlers of the elk. So I feel like, first of all, there's a lesson here in things that may be hidden but are trying to be, are, how do I word this? God may be trying to show you things, and it's like, I don't see it. Okay, like putting stuff up in front of it, similar to this eclipse energy here. And then I feel like there's, with the antlers, that like the way I was being shown it is if this elk had its head down and was like running forward towards something and would impact with its antlers. So kind of like being pushy or aggressive or something like that. I feel like there's something there around that as well. You may realize that you've been pushy or aggressive in a certain situation, and that could be part of the lesson, or that you've been trying to be shown truths but have been avoiding them. That could also be part of a lesson for you. I'm going to pop into the book here real quick. Oh my gosh, look at that. I opened right up to the page immediately. That's wild. Okay. So let's take a look at what the book says, but do keep in mind what I've already said, because that is pure intuition. Okay. So it says here, stable, resilient, headstrong. Yep. That explains it. Also, the father is here. So there could be issues here with a father figure, or potentially a maybe like the father of your children or something like that. It could also be just that more masculine energy. Another interesting thing about the father being mentioned is that the Emperor, which is your representation in the tarot, Aries, is rather the archetype of the father. So, I feel like this is a lesson about yourself. I feel like you're learning about yourself this month, and I feel like that truly is a blessing. Okay? So, it goes on to say here, the great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but it is for the most or excuse me, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, supportive, kind, consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high, and mighty. Okay, so I feel like there's this story here that is really about discovering yourself, and I feel like it's like, what do you really have to offer? And I don't just mean like to a romantic partner, but what do you have to offer yourself? How can you support yourself, right? How can you be that father figure for yourself, or that provider or supportive energy for yourself? And how can you get more in touch with these core values? Do you know what they are? Okay, so I feel like that's what you're learning. That's the blessing that's coming in for you this month, is discovering these things about yourself. Again, I feel like these things have been hidden. What else do we have here for you? The sea serpent. So what's really interesting about this card to me is that you see here, this serpent is essentially ready to eat its tail. So it's like going in circles. And I do feel like that's something that you may be noticing about yourself. And this looks like an eye to me. Okay. And notice it's just one, it's not two. And so I feel like your third eye, right, your intuition, that higher self, may, how do I word this? You may be seeing via your intuition where you've been essentially chasing your tail, right? Devouring yourself. Like, where have, yes, thank you, Lord. So we have this slow down energy up here. It's like, where are you running in circles? Where are you essentially draining your energy, or devouring your own energy, or emptying your cup, which is not being replenished? I also feel, again, this is like going in a circle. So, here's the thing. I feel like you have this opportunity this month to complete a cycle, which, I mean, it makes so much sense because we're going into this um, astrological new year, and this year is supposed to be wild as far as astrology is concerned, from my understanding, which I am not an astrologer, but those that I tune into are definitely commenting on this across various platforms, and various different astrologers. So that might be something for you to look into, because I do feel like you have an opportunity here in the form of a blessing to recognize where you're running in circles, where you need to complete these cycles, and again, to be cutting or severing and letting go of these things, right? Completing that karmic circle. But let's see what we have here to clarify. Yeah, we have deep cellular healing, Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely picking that up. But I feel like I don't know so much that this is healing anything external. Okay, so I don't feel like this has much to do with like healing any external relationships or situations. I mean, yes, you may be seeking forgiveness about certain things, but or needing to forgive certain things, but I feel like this is more about your own health, your own healing. Again, both emotionally, with all of this water energy showing up, right, all across the board, and then with the physical healing, that slowing down, pouring back into your cup, giving back to yourself. I feel like that's going to be a big lesson for you this month, and I want to lovingly say that when when God source shows you, hey, maybe you should step back, give back to yourself. If you keep trying to push through, oftentimes God will create a circumstance where you have to slow down, where you don't have a choice. And it can look many, many different ways. Okay. So it might not be a bad idea to acknowledge if you are getting this, if this resonates with you, it might not be a bad idea to acknowledge those physical symptoms, right? Like, oh, if you're tired, maybe you need more sleep. Do you need to drink more water? Do you need to maybe go for walks, or implement some sort of yoga or workout plan? Would it be beneficial for you to eat better, right? Something along those lines. Oh, beautiful. You also have here the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. Yeah, so with this spontaneous awakening, or this activation, here's the thing. I spoke on at the top of your reading that you may be opening up or experiencing some of these more spiritual gifts. That could be because of this. And it very well could be a big blessing. Now, let me just say, Aries, that oftentimes awakening is mm, difficult, and that's putting it very lightly. Some can find it very jarring, very shocking, very, what is the word? What is the word? Uh, Identity shattering. Yes, that's a good way to put it. And so, I feel like it's kind of like forewarning, right? Like, you may experience this. I find it fascinating that we have the blue flame and then the sea serpent card, which is also blue. So I feel like as you, how do I word? Okay. So for some of you, the closing of a cycle, a karmic cycle, could open up that third eye, right? And essentially uh, toss you in or push you into the deep end of the pool, as it were, and just activate you because you've cleared out this karma or you've closed this cycle. And for others of you, I feel like the awakening could cause that awareness of where you've been chasing your tail, which I want to lovingly say that once you are aware of how you've been not so good to yourself, where you may have been lying to yourself, where you may have been avoiding things, where you may have been essentially sabotaging your own experience, that again can be very, very difficult to move through. But I would like to take a moment to encourage you to face these things again, to step into that Aries energy, that Emperor energy, be brave and fearless and face these things. And it's for your highest good. Okay? Because I feel like it's meant to align you. It's meant to bring you to a new way of being. Okay? So I think this is really powerful for you, Aries. Again, it could be, a little bit heavy this month, but it is for you. And if you can keep that in mind as you move through this month and step to these challenges in a way that's like, this is for me, even though it's difficult, even though maybe I don't want to experience this or it's not incredibly pleasant, it is for me to move into a new space. And as wonky as it sounds, not facing the things is far more painful than actually facing them. I know that sounds crazy, but from experience, wholeheartedly, it is absolutely true. Okay? Absolutely true. And that, again, and that helps you to lay down things, right? Lay down burdens. So sometimes facing them is simply, okay, Lord, like, I really can't handle this. Like, I really don't have what I need, or I don't feel like I can continue to carry this. And so it's, coming to God and saying, okay, Lord, I'm laying all these things at your feet. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Here it is. Let me know what I need to do next. And then pray about it. All right. Or meditate on it, or whatever it is you do. Go out in nature, spend some time by yourself, allow God to speak to you. I really feel. So I think this is absolutely beautiful. And again, it can create some tremendous growth for you moving forward through the month and then into the rest of 2023. So I want to thank you so much, Aries, for joining me for this Tarotscope. I pray that something here resonated with you and that it's been helpful for you in some way, shape, or form as you move through March. If it has, please do the YouTube things by liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing if you'd like to see more content. It really does help the channel to grow, and I truly am so very grateful for you. I, again, pray that you have a beautiful month. Take care of your incredible, glorious soul. Peace be with you, and I hope to see you on the next one.